All right, welcome back to another episode of Rimworld, but instead of a series, I am going to be remaking my past beginner's guide for this game, as it's been a while and I've learned a lot. Anyway, we're just going to jump right into it. So if you're new to Rimworld, which hopefully you are if you're watching a beginner's guide, this is the main screen. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you want to click on New Colony. It's going to bring up this like menu right here, and it's going to give you a list of scenarios. All a scenario is like a specific like setup or something. So like this, for example, this one's like one person you start out with, and he's got like a bunch of stuff that he starts with. Or you can be one person that starts with nothing, which is really fun to do when you learn how to play the game. It is very fun to do. But the most basic one and the most classic one, as it says, the classic Rimworld experience, is the crash landed one, because it starts you off with 3 people and you get all the basic stuff, and it's probably the easiest start too. Anyway, that's the one you're going to want to pick if you want to learn how to play the game, so you'd click next here. Now, there are storytellers here, which when I first started, storytellers were really confusing. The one I learned to play with was this person right here, Obi. She is basically an easier version of Cassandra, at least from what I understand. I haven't played with her in a while, but when I started out, she was the one to go, because she allows a lot of time for you to build up before something happens. So anyway, you're going to want to do that. And excuse my voice, I don't know what it sounds like, but yeah, excuse that for a little while. Anyway, the difficulty, you're going to want to click medium. Commitment mode is what you're going to want to do, because it's cheating to do otherwise, in my opinion. And then it's going to ask you to generate a world, and then you just click generate. So it's going to quickly do that. It doesn't generate the full world unless you really want it to, and the reason for this is because it cuts down on loading times, basically. And there's no real point in generating the whole entire world, as well. The location we're going to be looking for is, we're looking for year-round growing, which would be more toward the south. That, like right here. So you want year-round growing and small hills or large hills. Yeah, we'll probably do large hills. Yeah, large hills is probably the way to go. So what you're looking for as a beginner is you're looking for year-round growing and an average temperature of roughly 65 to 70 degrees, hopefully. That's what you're shooting for, and in a biome of large hills. Okay, you'll find out here in a bit why. Now we have to select these 3 colonists. Okay, this is important because these are your starting 3 colonists. You can forget about these ones. You don't really need to worry about those. You only need to worry about these 3. So what you're going to want is, you're going to want to have someone who's good at medicine. Okay, which this guy is. Which he's a night owl, which is odd. Okay, he's also a psychopath. He's incapable of intellectual, which is fine, because we only really need one person. That this guy is literally just ass. So anyway, I think we might keep this guy just because of his medical skill. Social skill, no, we won't. Hang on, let's randomize him a few times. Here we go. She likes to be hurt, which is interesting. She also has a prosthetic arm. This is a great colonist right here, so we're going to keep her. Now that we have we have an animals person, we also have a medical person and a social person. And she's also technically an intellectual, so we don't need to worry about that. We're going to need crafting and construction now, which I know he was just that, but I want to make sure it's okay. So she is fine as well. She's also good at this. All right, now we need a cooker and a miner. This guy's good. He's incapable of social and cleaning, which is fine. All right, yeah. So he was. Oh wait, no, you don't want this. Okay, because a new thing they added in the game is heart attacks, or at least I think it's new, because I'd never encountered it until recently. So yeah, you don't want to have someone with artery issues, because then they just kind of collapse randomly and die. So that's not a good thing. You don't want that. Trust me, it's awful. Okay, now this person will work right here. Another thing about Rimworld is, since you're new to it, you cannot actually make babies, which is sad. I wish you could have like kids running around and like make your own colonists like that, but apparently not. You can't do that. So anyway, so this is what we're starting out with. The only issue that I'm going to have is I have almost no plants to begin with, so actually I might actually have to change that. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, yeah, now we're good to go. So you want to click generate, and it's going to start generating your map, as all maps are randomly generated, which is nice. Okay, and we'll just go right to the game. So, right off the start, you're going to see 3 drop pods explode on the ground like that. You're going to pause the game. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you want to go directly to orders. You want to find the allow button. You want to right click it and click unforbid all items. There's 50 of them. The reason for this is because otherwise things will start off forbidden like this, which means your colonists cannot use it. See how it's got the X there? That's how you know something's forbidden. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go through and equip the right weapons to everyone. So this person is going to be our best shooter. Bowman's the other shooter. And you're going to be the melee person. So then everyone's going to go get their respected weapons. Okay. Now, what you want to do is zoom out and look at the map, because we got to figure out where we want to build our colony. In your case, it's going to be completely different, because it's all randomly generated. So, I mean, you just kind of get lucky, I guess. Looks like this is probably going to be where our colony is. This is actually a perfect setup. So, these old ruined buildings are great for setting up initially, because they give you, like, an easy access house, basically. We just repair it like that. Call it good. This one will build a door there because I'm thinking that'll be our freezer. Okay. So now what you're going to want to do is after you build the doors, which you also find the structure tab, but after you build the doors, you want to go to the zones tab. Okay, and in the zones tab, you got the stockpile thing, which is what you're going to want to use. The stockpile, we're going to place that right there. Stockpile is where your colonists will store stuff. They'll start piling that stuff in here later. But growing zones are the next important thing. Actually, growing zones are extremely important. Let's see here. Is there like a... Okay. Well, that's way too far away. Or is it? Is it too far away? No, right here. Here we go. Okay. So, with growing zones, you can either place them right next to your colony. Okay. And that'll work just fine. But... you want to go the extra mile, if you can find the soil that looks like this. Do you see how it looks darker than the normal soil? Okay, that's because it is... I actually forget the name of this. It's called rich soil. Okay, so rich soil, it basically boosts your growing speed by quite a significant rate, actually. So what you're going to want to do is place your stuff on that, because it helps a lot. So, like, you don't need too big of growing zones, but you're going to want a few of them. Kind of like this. All right. So you're going to want 1 potatoes. You're going to want 1 rice. And you're going to want 1 heal root. Which, heal root is iffy because you need a starting skill of 8. Which I do not have. So if you don't have that, then just focus on something else. It doesn't really matter too much. I'm just going to go with strawberries. But once you get enough skill rating in one of your colonists' growing skills... you're going to want to do a heal root thing. So I'm just going to place down a thing for it for when it happens. That way, when it happens, they'll start doing it. So you're going to want to do that. Okay. So then after that, let's see here. Is there anything else we need to do before we start the game? Oh yeah, a butcher table. So we're going to build... a butcher table is basically... how do I explain that? Basically... you hunt animals, okay, and when your colonists kill the animals, they bring them to the butcher table, and they butcher them for meat, and then they put that meat into a stockpile, or hopefully your freezer, whenever you get that built. Which, to be honest with you, I think you should probably build it pretty much right away, because why not, I guess. But you're going to have to mine steel, which I forgot they changed a lot of stuff. Anyway, so, yeah, speaking of steel, you're going to want to make sure you start mining steel right away. Right away. Okay, so you want to start mining steel as soon as possible. Not too much of it, but enough of it to make sure that you have enough for, like, the electronics coming up soon. Let's see here. The compacted machinery, this will give you components, okay? Compacted machinery will give you components, which you can use to build things like windmills or the cooler. See, it requires 3 components. See right there. Anyway, yeah, I think we're going to start the game. Let them do their thing. You're going to make sure you start chopping down some trees as well to get some wood. Something like that, because they're going to need wood if they're going to build these beds in here, which is what you're going to want to build, because every colonist likes their own room, which we can actually easily divide this up into rooms. Now that I'm looking at this. All right, so I think that's what we're going to do. So if you do happen to start in a lucky sized room like this, go ahead and make divisions in the rooms like this, as this will make your colonists very happy. Let's build like little things like that. Yeah. Let's actually cancel that. So something you don't want to do is connect the bedrooms via doors. So you don't want to have a door here and a door here and a door here, because they complain about that. Colonists don't like that at all. Anyway, so now that we have the butcher table built, you want to go to the bills, add a bill, click butcher creature, and you want to make it do it forever. This means that any animal they hunt, they just come and butcher it right away. You're also going to want to go out and hunt. So you want to click on the wildlife tab. And when you do that, it's going to pop up all these things. Okay, you get a whole list of all the wildlife in the location. So what you can do is this X right here, you mark them like this. You can click and hold. You can do it as many times as you want, like that, or you can cancel them all. All right, so click and hold and do like a couple animals, preferably something that's not going to hurt you. So something that won't hurt you, for example, is like an alpaca or a turkey. Some like hares, things like that. Rats will sometimes hurt you, but I mean you can do it. So I mean, if you want to do a rat, go ahead. Also, another big thing, I cannot stress this enough. Do not forget about recreation, as I just did. I always do, every time. It don't matter what I do, I always forget the recreation every time. So anyway, all you need to do for recreation in the beginning is just put down a horseshoe pin. And then don't really worry much about it for a little bit. I mean, obviously, you're going to want to worry about it. And the next step would be making a chess table with chairs. That'd be the next step in this. But as it stands, you don't need to do that. So, now that the colonists have their rooms, I'm thinking you should probably build a torch lamp on the inside. That way it lights them up a little bit. As for production, stone cutters, you're going to want that. And also, you're going to want a research bench. So, let's see here. Something you could do is build a little shack for them to work in, kind of. So, you want to go to the structure, click on the wooden walls, and we're going to build like a little work shack right here. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Now, on the inside of that, you're going to want to make the research bench and the stone cutters thing as well. Like, oh god, game, don't do that to me. Okay. So, make a dining chair in these workstation areas like that. Okay, the reason for that is if you notice on the blueprints, where is it? Production. You notice on the blueprints, there is a little chair right there. I can't really show it with my mouse, but it's right in the middle. Okay, and it's like that for every single thing. The reason for that is because they work a lot faster sitting in a chair, and they're also more comfortable. So that's why it's included in the blueprint. Yeah, so you should always build a chair. It can be a stool as well. It depends on what your scenario is, but you might only have a stool to build, so you might as well build a stool. Better than having nothing. Now that we have all this built, I'm going to make sure you get everything hauled out of the buildings, and I will show you why. You don't need to know this. This is a little too advanced for what beginner's guide is, but I'll show you anyway. So, this shows the beauty and wealth and impressiveness of a room. Okay, and as you can see, it's dirty and it's full of rocks and shit, and it's just not very beautiful to look at. Whereas someone like this, or I guess I don't really have a great example, but someone like this has almost, it's just got a little dirt and that's it. Otherwise, the rest of the room looks nice. So therefore, the beauty rating's higher. Okay, the higher the beauty rating, the happier your colonist is going to be. Okay. What you really want to look at, though, is the impressiveness, which is at the top of that chart. So, like, Sparkles' room is awful. But if we can get that number up, which I'll show you how to do that right now, actually. Or actually, what you should do is after this video, go look at my basic mood management video. I will hopefully remember to put that in my description. Or flash, like, a little image up here or something. Show you what it looks like. It's a good video. It shows you what to do for room impressiveness and how to keep colonists happy. But anyway, now that we got this built, this is where I'm about to leave you. So the first thing you want to do is research a battery. That's the first priority research thing that you should do for the most part, almost every time. Depending on your situation, you might need other stuff, but majority of the time you're going to want a battery, because then what you can do is you can build a freezer, which a freezer is just a cooler with the blue side on the inside. Okay, so you want the blue side right here. The blue side means it's the cooling side, okay? And you're going to build that in an opening like this. And then what you would do is make a stockpile in here. Click on this stockpile, click storage, clear all, priority critical, don't allow rotten, and then allow foods. And then, therefore, they're going to store foods in here, and then they'll get frozen and preserved, and you can have them forever, basically. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave you off, because you learn better by not having your hand held. But this is how you basically get a startup. You're going to want to work on defenses, which you should watch my defense guide for more information on that. But yeah, anyway, it's just pretty much all you really need to know to start out. Everything else you'll probably learn on your own. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope I helped. Please subscribe. I stream every now and then. So, and it's a party. Also, feel free to join the Discord, as the Discord is also a party. There's a bunch of people in there. They're all hilarious. They're all really nice. And you can also get to know me, and I can get to know you. And yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.